Hey guys, I wanted to share a quick little trick on how you can deal with multiple disconnected areas in a grading plan. Like say you have one big main area you're grading, but then you're tying to existing everywhere all through here, all through this area. And then you have one small area where you're kind of adjusting grades again. And then just to show that it scales to 3 or 4, however many areas you have. I have maybe you're kind of adjusting some grass grades over here. You're flattening out this high point for whatever reason. So we start out with our surface, and we also have some feature lines over here as well. You can't see them, they're behind. There's feature lines over here too. I haven't added them yet. But you have this surface, so you add all your feature lines, and of course everyone's seen this before. Well, it connects all the dots, and now I have grading all over here where I don't want it. I really only want it in these white polyline boundaries I've drawn. So I'm assuming you've already kind of drawn the boundaries you want. I have mine here, they're just polylines because that's all you need. So we're going to add the first one. So if I type in add data, outer, because this is our outer boundary, I click this. This is a fun one, so if anyone's seen this before, that's because you have a feature line that's behind the polyline. Even though you click the polyline, it still decided that you wanted the feature line. That's also a bug. Civil 3D is allegedly working on resolving that issue. For now, all you got to do, you can just undo. You just need to turn off your feature line layer so that way you don't click behind it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now it's just me and the polyline. Click that surface, add boundaries, outer. You can click OK. You can call it anything you want. I don't usually name mine. Just click that, and then it adds a boundary. But all this stuff is gone now. So how do we get that back? So Civil 3D provides you with different boundary types. So if we go back into this menu, you'll see here we have show. And we'll name this one. I like to name my show boundaries just because sometimes I have multiple of them. If we click OK and we click this guy, well, there you go. So he's back, and now all you got to do is add one more, and we'll have the other area. Show, call it area 3. And now we have exactly what we want. We have these outer boundaries where our grading ties in. My grading kind of doesn't here. Don't worry about it. But it doesn't keep going outside of those areas. It respects the boundary. We have one big surface, and we can look at it in Object Viewer, and you can see it's exactly what we're looking for here. Now I added both of these 2 extra kind of satellite areas individually, but you can add multiple show boundaries at the same time, so you don't have to do it separately like I just did it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those, and we'll show you what it looks like to do them combined. So you can see they're gone. We're going to click this surface, click boundaries, show, and you see it lets you just keep selecting. So if I just click one, I have the option to keep clicking more, and you can click however many. You can get crazy with it. So really all you need is two boundary sets. One is going to be your outer, and that's only going to be one, and the other is going to be all your show boundaries. So for remediation jobs, where you're kind of doing grading in like really tight areas, and you're only ripping up like this small stretch of sidewalk and regrading it, and then you're tying back into existing, you just got crazy stuff everywhere. This is super helpful. I find that it's better to keep everything in one big surface instead of separating this out and having this, this be surface 2 and then this be surface 3. I find keeping it in one big surface is more helpful for at least utilities, because say I had a storm line running this way, and I had, a structure say here and here. Well, if I'm profiling this utility line, like let's say it's a storm line, then I have to make sure I add this surface over here, which is a separate one, and then this surface over here in the profile to make sure I have cover on this pipe here. And then I also have to make sure that this structure here is looking at this surface for its rim elevation or whatever. And I gotta make sure this structure is looking at this other surface. You can see how it just starts to get unnecessarily complicated. So it's better for I'd say grading organization and everyone else if you can just keep it in one big surface. That's what I like to do, and it's certainly possible. That's all for this one. Thanks for watching.